I finally saw a piece of the trailer for Netflix Resident Evil, and I can already see there's not actual Resident Evil. It's basically a skin suit of Resident Evil, disguising the fact there's a generic young adult novel adaptation or original young adult dystopian novel masquerading as Resident Evil. With Netflix owning the rights to make an original Resident Evil title, they could easily create an original show. They could create an original show that would fit the lore or the canon. Post Raccoon City, after the events of Resident Evil 2 and 3, it is known that Umbrella was actually dismantled, and they had the Raccoon City trials, and Raccoon City and Umbrella was dismantled. But during the dismantlement process, the scientists kept the viral weaponry and the biological weaponry and sold it to a bunch of people, terrorist organizations, radicals. In response, there's this new UN organization. Well, it was later funded and operated in our species in the United Nations, known as the BASA. I don't remember what it is. It's the Biological Assessment Security Alliance. Or I will call it the Biological Security Assessment Agency, or BSAA. Seriously, they could create an original story that would fit the canon and will allow Capcom to reference that. Basically, I mean, there are 8 BASA agencies. BSAA agencies. I'm just going to use it interactively. BSAA. The Biosecurity Assessment Alliance. There are around 6 or 8 BSAA divisions. 1 in North America, 1 in South America, 2 in East and West Asia, 1 in Europe, 1 in Central America, 1 in South America. They could easily create an original story, original generic terrorist story, a counter-terrorist unit. They could have had a real-life story about one of the divisions of the BSAA with original characters. You could have referenced the games and the CGI movies, and you will create an original antagonist group using the T virus or G virus. It would have been similar to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. You could have had a story similar to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. You could have had an original character similar to Chris Redfield. And it would have been a very interesting story of the BSAA suppressing bioterrorist outbreaks. Basically, a bioterrorist incident of the episode. And you could have a serialized segment, a serialized arc. We're going one major bioterrorist organization that the BSA has to deal with. It will attract the core fans and fans who are not usually into the Resident Evil series into the franchise. But no, you're not allowed to do any originality anymore. You're not allowed to do anything original anymore. You're not allowed to be creative anymore. You are only allowed to use franchises as skin suits for unrelated television projects. And I think the real reason why they race swapped Wesker is to fulfill the quotas. Instead of actually creating an original character from the Resident Evil series, have an original name, they just have Albert Wesker. But we all know that Albert Wesker, the original Albert Wesker, is dead after the events of Resident Evil 5, which was supposed to be the true ending of the Resident Evil franchise, until Capcom decided to make Resident Evil 6, which is a great game. Actually, the worst game of Resident Evil. It's a fun show about great game, but it's not really Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 7, which is a great game, but seriously, Netflix, this show for Netflix is going to bomb, and quite frankly, it will. And Netflix, it may not be able to cover from these new set of woke versions of these franchises, especially with Netflix or Netflix stock values just went recovered from $700 per share to right now $176 a share as of the time of the video. I mean, seriously. I mean, even the original Resident Evil films by Paul Anderson are a lot better than this recent movie and this Netflix television series in comparison. Seriously, if you want to see a Resident Evil movie series, go watch the original movies by Paul Anderson. They're a lot better than this trash. This is JK from the Ministry of Otaku speaking. Have a good day.